Hello, everybody. We're back online. Happy Hanukkah to you. We're in day 4, Mary.
Day four of the 8 days.
Day 4.
Yep.
All right. And you're going to explain about Hanukkah for us. What's going on day 4, right?
I will.
All right. That sounds great. So, you want me to light them up?
Light the servant one up. It's called the worker candle because in Hebrew it's called shamash, but in these fun playing cards I got, I ordered these for my grandchildren when we were going to have Hanukkah at the grandchildren's in Orlando. And so I ordered these, here's Go Fish Hanukkah cards and Rummy Hanukkah cards and Crazy Eights. And we had a lot of fun with these.
We played that the other night. Yeah,
We
had
did.
a good time.
We did. And it came with a little storybook, a tiny little storybook. And it was talking about the different things. And so when he lights it, then you're gonna take the servant candle. And so what I was getting to here is in here, it says, let me find the servant candle, the worker. They call it the worker.
Like all
The
4?
worker candle, shamash, all 4. And we turned off the air tonight so that we didn't. Oops, you got a spill there. It says it's a 9th candle, the worker candle shamash, used to light the other candles, and so that's the middle one. And remember, we talked about that Jesus is the light of the world, and with Him we don't have any light in ourselves.
Amen.
We need Jesus. He is the light of the world.
Yes.
And if you go to 1 John. The Gospel of John, he talks about he is the light, and in him was light, and the darkness cannot comprehend it. It cannot stop it.
That's right.
It's amazing. If all we had was just one candle, the darkness would have to flee. And that's why we're supposed to be the light of this world.
Yes.
And drive out the darkness so that the darkness does not overtake us.
I like being the light of the world.
I like being the light of the world too. But one of the interesting things that was, because on our cards we have different faces and stuff. And one of them, let me just read you this little tiny book because it's so cute. In 167 BCE, Antiochus V, the Syrian Greek, or is it fourth? The Greek king ruled ancient in Israel. He ordered Jews to pray to the Greek gods. A priest named Matthias refused. His sons were Judah, Eleazar, Simon, Jonathan, and Johanan. And there was a revolt against the Syrian Greeks. And Judah became the leader of the revolt. He was called the Maccabee, and Maccabee is hammer. So when I think of that, I always think of that old song, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer the morning. That's what I always think of, the Maccabee. And so Judah and his band of fighters were called Maccabees. Now there's an elephant in those cards, and I was wondering, what does an elephant have to do with Hanukkah? And here it says, the Syrian Greeks attacked on elephants. They came to Israel and attacked them on elephants. They couldn't stop the Maccabee rebellion. And the heroes, the only shields to protect themselves were the spears from the spears of their enemies. And their shields, that's the only thing they had. They didn't have spears, they didn't have guns, they didn't have ammo. And only their shields protected them from the spears of their enemies. The Maccabees drove the Syrian Greeks out in Jerusalem. They were heroes. Well, that sounds just like the Word of God. Mm-hmm. We have the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And we have a shield of faith. The shield of faith is what we use for anything that the enemy is throwing at us. We just speak the Word in faith, and it stops them. And so then Hanukkah, it says, the Maccabees cleaned the temple. To rededicate it, a place called prayer, they lit oil in a menorah. Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew. The legend tells us that Maccabees found only enough sacred oil to burn for one day, but there was a miracle. The oil burned for 8 nights and 8 days. And so on Hanukkah, they light the special menorah, and it goes to tell about the worker candle and different things. And you know what, it's a real family affair when they light the candles, and we're supposed to say a prayer every night, and we've been having, but I'll get that tomorrow night. I've lost my Hanukkah books. I took them out for something, and I cannot find them anywhere. And so, but the parents would give their children coins.
There's like a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
Or a $50.
And but they would give their kids coins for Hanukkah. So they would give them gifts, but they also gave them coins. And so what these are chocolate coins.
Well, I was going to say there's something secret inside here. It's
There's
called
a
chocolate.
secret
I might
inside
eat that
it.
later on.
Yeah.
That's
and
pretty good.
we played Dreidel with our Golden Eagles the other night. Are we over 5 minutes? We're over 5 minutes.
Already?
Well, happy Hanukkah. Thanks for tuning in and being with
fast.
Ken and Mary Bostrom.
God bless you.
of
Love
Ken
you
Bostrom
so much.
Ministries. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.